The Simpsons, a cultural phenomenon with its quirky yellow characters, has been more than just a source of entertainment. Over its 34 seasons, this legendary animated series has gained a reputation for its prophetic glimpses into the future. From the rise of a businessman to the presidency to global health crises, the predictions are not just coincidental, they're astonishingly accurate. Debuting on December 17, 1989, with its heartwarming pilot episode, Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, nobody could have foreseen that this show would become a mirror reflecting some of the most pivotal global events. Now, as we face 2024, The Simpsons has something even more alarming in store, a scenario that could overshadow the shock of past predictions. What looming event could possibly surpass the global upheaval we've already experienced? The Simpsons predicting a big news event. The story this time is that the iconic TV show eerily predicted the outbreak of the coronavirus. Join us as we explore the many terrifying Simpson predictions that have come to pass and the ones that are bound to happen in 2024. Tragic submarine accident. A prediction that left a bitter taste in the mouths of everyone after it came to pass was the tragic Russian submarine accident. In an episode aired in 1994 titled Marge Gets a Job, the cartoon shows Homer working at a nuclear power plant as a safety inspector. In this episode, one of the scenes reveals the implosion of a faulty submarine because of a design flaw. The morbid thing about this scene was that all the crew were trapped in the metal coffin and died as a result of the implosion. Fiction became fact on August 12, 2000, when the K-141 Kursk submarine sank in an accident in the Barents Sea. The K-141 Kursk nuclear submarine was sunk in an accident in the Barents Sea in 2000, killing all 118 crew members. The entire 118 crew members died as a result of the faulty torpedo that caused the submarine to sink. According to reports, nearby ships felt a first explosion, followed by a larger one. This accident is more tragic because although ships nearby felt an explosion, the Russian Navy was unaware that such an accident had occurred. As a result, there was no search and rescue operation until after 6 hours. When the submarine was located 16 hours after the rescue operation commenced, it was already 354 feet deep, lying on the ocean floor. The crew members could not escape themselves because there was no rescue buoy, as they disabled them intentionally when they carried out a previous mission. The Russian Navy tried and failed to gain access to the submarine for 5 days. 2 days after President Putin gave the go-ahead for the nation's Navy to accept external help, divers from Britain and Norway could gain access to the submarine's 9th compartment. However, it was already late for the crew. Edward Snowden's revelations. Did you know that The Simpsons knew and predicted that the NSA's highly classified information would be leaked? The National Security Agency would have probably laughed it off when the episode Tripping on Nuts aired, where a scene revealed that a character known as NSA Guy stole highly sensitive and classified information from the NSA and ran off to Cuba. We only considered this possible when Edward Snowden did the exact thing in June 2013. Snowden, who was an NSA contractor, decided to leak top-secret documents that revealed the NSA's global surveillance program. Edward Snowden, he's an American, former CIA employee, and computer technician. Today he came out as the leaker of classified NSA documents that spell out a secret surveillance program. According to him, he did this because he became disillusioned with the government's programs. Snowden admitted that he voiced his ethical concerns about the program using internal channels. Still, the influential people refused to listen to him, so he took this approach. After this shocking revelation, Snowden sought asylum in Russia, not Cuba, where he now lives. He has Russian citizenship, which President Vladimir Putin granted in September 2022. Did Snowden get inspired by The Simpsons, or did he act alone? This is an answer we might never know, but we do know that The Simpsons predicted video calls and smartwatches. Check out the details in the next scene, Donald Trump's presidency. People are terrified that the terrible Simpsons predictions of 2024 will come to pass, because so many such predictions have already come true. For instance, no one would have imagined that Donald Trump would become the President of the United States of America, given he was not involved in the political scene then. The Simpsons predicted in 2000 in an episode titled Bart to the Future. 16 years ago, The Simpsons eerily predicted Donald Trump would be president. As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump, which was a homage to the 1985 science fiction film Back to the Future. When The Simpsons predicted Donald would become president, he was a businessman and reality TV star. Yet not only did the show predict he would become president, but they did so with the accuracy that he would become the 45th president, which happened on November 8, 2016. The fulfillment of this prediction surprised so many people, which made the writers of that episode say they just wrote it because of Trump's flamboyant personality. They had no idea it would happen, but we are not buying that, are we? Not when several other predictions came true. These other fulfilled predictions will shock you. The rise of video calls and smartwatches. While there might be arguments regarding this prediction, the Jetsons, which aired initially from 1962 to 1963, showed all sorts of technological advancements. Examples include video calls where characters use video phones to communicate, calling the Jetsons. Jetsons. Ah, it's a phone. I'll get it. And the use of wrist-worn communication devices that look like modern-day smartwatches. Yet recency bias makes people believe that The Simpsons predicted the use of such technology first. While The Jetsons aired last in 1985 when it was revived, The Simpsons episode titled Lisa's Wedding aired in 1995. It showed Lisa conversing with her fiancé via a video phone booth. Video calls on mobile phones are now a common thing globally. Furthermore, in 2008, the Bart Gets an Elephant episode reveals a scene where a character is wearing a wristwatch with video call features. This occurred years before Apple released the Apple Watch. These predictions look like these tech companies took inspiration from these fantastic cartoons. An entertainment company might have done the same, as you'll discover in the next chapter. Disney buying Fox. On March 20th, 2019, Disney acquired 21st Century Fox, formerly known as 20th Century Fox, for $71.3 billion. This wasn't a shock, as such acquisitions were common in the entertainment industry. However, the impact of the acquisition was massive. What shocked everyone was that The Simpsons had predicted this in an episode titled When You Dish Upon a Star in 1997. In that episode, a scene showed a sign that read 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Company. So doesn't it also mean now that Disney owns The Simpsons? And I kind of remember that The Simpsons predicted this just a couple years ago. They predict all sorts of things. It's really, really scary. Take a look at this. This was back in 1998. They had a sign that read 21st 20th Century Fox, a division. Now that this prediction has come to pass 22 years later, this act has reduced the number of the big Hollywood studios to just 5, which includes Disney, Sony, Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Universal. Furthermore, this acquisition means that all Fox movies and shows belong to Disney. As a result, you can find them all on Disney+. The Simpsons' predictions have even been proven true regarding health matters, as you'll discover in the next scene. Ebola and COVID-19 outbreaks. The Ebola virus outbreak that lasted from 2014 to 2016 and happened primarily in West Africa was the 7th but largest of all the outbreaks of the virus since scientists discovered it in 1976. According to reports, over 28,600 people were infected and 11,325 people died from the virus infection, which infected probably about 1 billion people a century ago, and the mortality of Ebola, something that is respiratory-borne, that is a virus like influenza, likely influenza, that has both high degree of transmissibility and high degree of morbidity and mortality. This outbreak affected 10 different countries, including the United States of America. This outbreak proved The Simpsons' 1997 prediction to be true. In an episode titled Lisa's Sacks, Marge gives Bart, who was sick, a book titled Curious George and the Ebola Virus. While this was not anything serious like the other predictions, it is worth mentioning, especially when we realize that the United States was one of the few countries affected by this virus outside of West Africa. Today we are providing the information that an individual traveling from Liberia has been diagnosed with Ebola in the United States. is another health prediction that The Simpsons got spot on. The episode Marge in Chains, which aired in 1993, had a storyline that focused on a flu outbreak that began in Asia. The flu spread quickly, and within a short period, it had become a global pandemic. The dreaded Osaka flu has hit Springfield with over 300 cases now reported. It sounds familiar, just like the COVID-19 virus that broke out in Wuhan, China, and Asia, right? Like there's no way you can fake this. Either the writers of The Simpsons have a time machine, or their clairvoyant gift is impeccable. So far, we've only looked at predictions that have come to pass. In the next chapter, we'll reveal predictions from The Simpsons for 2024. Trump triumphs. Again, presidential prediction. It would surprise you to know that not only did The Simpsons predict that Trump would become the 45th president of the United States of America, which turned out to be accurate, but they have also predicted that he will become president again in 2024. Donald Trump was very vocal about losing the 2020 presidential elections, claiming that the Democrats had rigged the election in their favor. Therefore, it wasn't surprising when he announced that he would run for the 2024 presidential election on November 15, 2022. When Trump made this announcement, one of The Simpsons writers, Aline, reminded the public by posting on X, formerly Twitter, that the show had predicted this would happen in 2015. In that episode, The Simpsons travel into the future, where a floating Homer passes a sign that reads, Trump 2024. When Aline posted this tweet, everyone was surprised again, as they realized this episode aired before Trump became president in 2016. Furthermore, the show even predicted that the president who would succeed Trump in the show It Was Lisa would have to deal with a budget crunch. While a female president didn't replace Trump, according to specific reports, President Biden inherited a $3 trillion budget deficit from Trump when he became president. This revelation agrees with the famous line where Lisa revealed that she had inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. With this prediction and the accuracy of the initial presidency, it's likely Trump will triumph again in the November 2024 election. Do you think Trump will win again? The next scene discusses another political possibility in the forthcoming presidential election. Madam President, the rise of female leadership. The Bart to the Future episode of The Simpsons predicted Trump's presidency and the rise of a female president. In that episode, Bart Simpson sees a vision of the future where Lisa was the first female president of the United States of America. This was the episode where Lisa uttered the famous budget crunch line caused by former President Trump. Why do people consider this a prediction for 2024? For starters, Kamala Harris became America's first ever female vice president on January 20, 2021. Given that she came into power after the Trump government, some might even say that the prediction has come to pass. Yet the potential for Kamala Harris to take the presidency is very high. Before we look into the current political landscape that might be shaping up for this to become a reality, let's look back at Lisa Simpson and draw a striking similarity that shocked everyone. In the show's episode under discussion, Lisa wore a purple jacket with a pearl necklace during her time as Madam President. Many were surprised to see Kamala Harris wearing an identical purple jacket and pearl necklace during her inauguration as Vice President. We don't know if the Vice President's wardrobe crew was trying to have a laugh, but it was pretty uncanny. This simple similarity led to the speculation that Kamala Harris might just become the first female president. While Biden is still president, she is expected to succeed him should anything happen. Some have speculated that Biden might have to step down due to his health and age. Madam President would have broken 2 records in a row if this happened. Speaking of female presidents, this potential candidate in the next scene will shock you. Ivanka's ascent, a future President Trump? An episode aired on October 16, 2016, titled Treehouse of Horror 27, shows Homer wearing a badge that reads Ivanka 2028. This suggests the former first daughter might contest for the presidency in 2028. The Simpsons did not stop there. In 2017, they released another episode that showed Ivanka as a member of the Supreme Court. While the prediction is still 4 years away, the involvement of Donald Trump's involvement in the 2024 presidential election has made people consider whether this could be a setup for the daughter in the next election. This prediction and speculation have caused many to question the influence of celebrities in politics, especially the role of the Trumps in the American future. However, Ivanka has come out to say she does not plan to be involved in politics. She stated that although she would always love and support her father, she would do so outside the political arena in the future. This can be the final nail in the coffin for that prediction. Still, you never know. Given the accuracy of the Simpsons' predictions so far, she might change her mind before 2028 rolls around, and we'll have the first female president in Ivanka Trump if Kamala Harris doesn't beat her to it. Let's move away from politics and discuss the Simpsons' food prediction and gaming. We don't know about you, but we will only be satisfied with technology once we can download it straight into our stomachs without having to cook, grab a bite, or order one online. The Simpsons might have had the same idea when they introduced us to reality food in a 1998 episode when the iconic family traveled to 2030. In the scene, we see Homer and Marge eating virtual fudge from feeding tubes while wearing virtual reality glasses. The prediction of virtual reality is not a real-life reality, as many games are played in virtual reality and simulations. While we are familiar with virtual gaming, we are not so familiar with virtual food. But what if we told you that this is now a reality? AeroBanquets RMX has developed technology that allows individuals to eat all sorts of food in virtual reality. With virtual reality, your taste perception is altered, making it feel like you're actually eating food. The idea behind this innovation is to radicalize our food eating experience. For instance, you can recover your appetite by using similar simulations and choosing the taste you crave, even if you don't have it physically. The possibilities are endless. That's not the only technological advancement the Simpsons have predicted. The next scene reveals a terrifying prediction that might soon become a reality. AI apocalypse, the robot revolution. The recent artificial intelligence boom has been so rapid and alarming simultaneously. Many of these fears are based mainly on the fact that these AI robots could take over people's jobs soon. In fact, it's already happening, as some restaurants in Japan use these robots to serve their customers. While we are dealing with this possibility, the world of The Simpsons has already faced this problem. In the 2012 episode titled Them Robot, Mr. Burns replaced all his workers, including Homer, with robots. Mr. Burns says that his workers will train the robots, which will then replace them. Funny enough, this is the same process used in the real world to train AI computers and robots. After the training, these AIs become smarter than us and more capable, if we are honest. Besides the serving robots in Japan, self-driving cars are becoming more popular daily, and some believe these cars will completely replace drivers in the coming years. Even graphic designers, financial advisors, and coders are now competing with humans and AI supercomputers. How long before we completely lose our relevance? Or even worse, we might be subjugated by these AI robots? We've seen so many movies and shows depicting such a possibility. The Simpsons even predicted that happening, and while this might seem far-fetched, recent events have done nothing to calm our fears. For instance, a Google AI researcher, Blake Lemoine, was fired because he expressed concern that the AI Google was working on was too lifelike. This is becoming the norm in AI and robotics, as these machines gain human-like emotions. Apart from the 2012 episode referenced above, another episode aired originally on October 2, 1994, titled Itchy and Scratchy Land. It showed how the robots that ran the theme park became smart, gained sentience, and rebelled against the humans who created them. The whole thing seemed like fiction, but what if the concerns of experts like Lemoine are genuine? I'm sure no one wants to see a Skynet-like robot take over the world. While this prediction is terrifying and we don't wish for it to happen, the next one is something we all want to happen quickly. Smart parenting, translating infant language. On August 27, 1992, The Simpsons aired the Brother Can You Spare 2 Dimes episode, where Herb, Homer's half-brother, hatches a plan to regain his lost wealth. After borrowing $2,000 from Homer, who had gotten the money as compensation from Mr. Burns for becoming sterile due to radiation at the nuclear power plant where he works, Herb develops a product that can translate a baby's babble into clear, coherent speech. Interestingly, the plan works. Herb recovers his fortune, and each Simpson benefits from it. While this might seem like a routine TV gag, recent developments might just make it a reality. A Swiss-based company called Zoomdream is developing a technology that can translate the cries of a baby into real words. A startup called Zoomdream created a device that can translate baby cries. The technology uses artificial intelligence and sound recognition to analyze and translate baby language. This way, when the baby is crying because they are hungry or have pooped themselves, you don't have to start guessing what made them cry. Now, there are several smartphone apps that claim that they can decode your baby's cry for you. The device will reveal exactly what the baby wants. We honestly hope this becomes a reality, as it will save parents and guidance a lot of stress trying to decode what our little ones want. The next chapter reveals another technology prediction we also hope will come to pass. Flying high, the hovercar revolution. Remember the episode, Bart to the Future? Well, as you might have guessed, the Simpsons tried to paint what the future would look like, and one of the things they predicted was the use of hovercars, which was how Homer and Bart moved around in the future. While this was science fiction, just like many other movies and TV shows showing similar technological advancements for future humans, this might become real anytime soon. Samson Sky has developed a sort of hovercar called the Switchblade. First announced, the Samson Sky Switchblade is officially off the ground. This street-legal three-wheeler converts to a 200-melofy airplane at the touch of a button. According to the company, the vehicle has 3 wheels, allowing you to drive on normal roads like any regular car. The difference is that these vehicles are meant to fly from one airport to another. That means you'll have to drive down the road to the airport. Once you get to the airport, the tail and wings will swing within 3 minutes. Provided you've registered the vehicle as an aircraft and done the necessary clearings for takeoffs, you can fly the vehicle out of the airport to the next airport destination. The vehicle can fly as high as 13,000 feet at 200 miles per hour. Although it's not designed to hover over regular streets, it's still a welcome development and a sign that the hover car is just around the corner. In the next prediction, many would have considered The Simpsons taking things too far, but once again, the writers were spot on. Keep watching to find out what we are talking about. Red Planet Dreams, Colonizing Mars. Exotic vacation destinations include Dubai, the Bahamas, Paris, Bali, the Maldives, and Mars. Yes, you heard the last location correctly. If you still need clarification, we are talking about the red planet in our solar system. We've been to the moon, but we're going to Mars this time. Well, that's what The Simpsons say anyway. In the 590th episode, The Martian Chronicles aired on March 13, 2016. Lisa volunteers to move to Mars permanently. Since her family didn't support the plan, they devised several strategies to change her mind, but all of them failed. Eventually, they didn't end up going to the red planet. However, after the main events of the present day, the scene goes forward into the future, and the year 2051 is displayed. The scene reveals that Marge and Lisa live on Mars, and Lisa plans to relocate to Venus. Not too long after this episode, Elon Musk announced that he plans to get humans to Mars and establish a colony with 1 million people on the red planet. The staggering similarity between Musk's announcement and The Simpsons episode is that the multi-billionaire plans to establish the colony by 2050. This is just a year before the one displayed in The Simpsons, which could mean the colonization of Mars happened in 2050, and then Lisa and Marge lived on the red planet for a year. While this seems so far away, Musk and his company SpaceX are working to make this prediction a reality. No one wants the next prediction to become a reality. World War III, a global catastrophe, foretold the political landscape, and the tension among nations worldwide make it only natural to fear the impending doom that World War III might bring. The Russia and Ukraine conflict in Europe, which has affected other parts of the world with countries choosing sides, is still ongoing. The Israeli-Palestinian war is another conflict that the world has to deal with. Furthermore, the Taiwanese independence issue that has brought a form of Cold War between the USA and China is gathering momentum. All these conflicts are cause for concern, so much so that Andrew Bustamante, who worked as a spy for the CIA, revealed that World War III will likely happen in 2024. We can make these assumptions and speculations because of what we see currently happening worldwide. Yet The Simpsons predicted that World War III would happen way back on November 22, 1987, in the World War III episode. In the show, a paranoid Homer Simpson kept waking up his family late at night to take cover in the bomb shelter. "Wake up, everybody. It's World War III. Quick, down to the fallout shelter. The bombs are dropping." 18 seconds. If this were really a nuclear war, we'd all be dead meat by now. While the episode was funny, there were no war tensions. So why would the writers choose to make such an episode if they had not seen the future? We do hope for once that their prediction won't come true in this case. But it seems the following prediction has almost come true. Economic collapse, a financial freefall. According to The Simpsons, the economy will collapse in 2024. This is not surprising, to say the least, as the global economy has faced some crises, especially after the COVID-19 global pandemic. Even the U.S. had to print $3 trillion in 2020 just to keep up, and economists have warned that this might lead to inflation, causing people to lose their jobs and houses in 2024. The warning from The Simpsons came in the Bart to the Future episode, as the U.S. had economic woes after the presidency of Donald Trump. If we believe that the worst is over, we just need to remind ourselves of the prediction of Trump becoming president again in 2024. The Simpsons have made other outlandish and humorous predictions for 2024 that many do not consider possible. For instance, they predicted a zombie apocalypse, which scientists have declared extremely unlikely. Another prediction involves the creation of a black hole. Once again, scientists have disproved this possibility. Some of Simpsons' predictions are conspiracy theories about the government and powerful corporations. Typical examples are the government manipulation of the masses through music and the suppression of green energy by corporate interest predictions. While there may be truth to these theories and predictions, they remain unproven, since some of the predictions fail to become reality. Some people argue that Simpsons' predictions are not really predictions, but just calculated guesses that eventually play out in real life. What do you think? If you believe the Simpsons' predictions are accurate, let us know in the comments section. That's all we have time for today. If you loved this video, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to get more amazing videos like this one.